Part of the notorious video nasties, Madhouse, 1981. Most people's nightmares end when they wake up. Now, this is one of those Italian horror films filmed in the USA that they tried to pass off as American. And it really does feel American. Set in Savannah, Georgia. It wasn't done by Fulci or Argento or anything, but I'd say most of this is just a humdrum of incoherent darkness. It follows the tale of two sisters, and in the opening scene, well, when they were kids, they used to be oh so simpatico, until one maimed the other with a rock, straight disfiguring her face, and it sets it off with that. And there's a lot of really good dark scenes, and the dynamics of their relationship are really hard to ascertain the first way through. There's a lot that goes into it. Anyway, one ends up normal and ends up teaching the deaf in a school. So they fast forward about 20 years later, and the other one ended up in the loony bin in town, and their uncle happens to actually run it. He's a priest, Father James. And so, really, this is really hard to stay engaged throughout. They have this Rottweiler that does most of the dooming by mauling these characters that seemingly really have nothing to do with the plot. They're just in the life of the main character, like her neighbors or her landlady, and, you know, stupid, extraneous shit like that. And so, yeah, the Rottweiler's killing it, straight out of a David Seltzer novel. And so we lead up to, it's a lead up throughout the week to their shared birthday. They were twins. Actually, she visits the girl in the hospital, and she still hasn't forgiven her, and she goes off on her, and the main girl ends up being traumatized by visiting her. And then she ends up really paranoid throughout and disillusioned that something's after her. And her uncle, Father James, and her doctor are playing it off as just paranoia. Then it just kind of like goes into the second act of all those deaths, those irrelevant deaths that I was talking about. So there's a lot of good dark scenes that they captured, and I love the disfigured monster character. She's just really eerie, and you just become petrified by every time she's on the screen. And I'm trying to debate whether to even talk about the ending. So basically, if you haven't seen it, I give it a C. You can check it out and come back for the ending. So now I'm going to talk about spoilers. So we lead up to the ending, and this is the scene that's really correlates with the set piece in Happy Birthday to Me, which came out the same year, where it's the gathering of the bodies, same as Graduation Day also, and a few other. And the gathering of the victims for the cutting of the cake. And we figure out that Father James is a lunatic as well. He's so psychotic. He gathered them all. He kind of orchestrated the whole thing. So we have double killers. How do you like that for a change up, Keckler? Anyway, so it's terrifying and it's sick, and we got a psychotic priest with an axe on the loose, and Chris Allen's like, what the fuck is going on? And then the monster ends up getting gashed by the priest, and the dog ends up getting drilled in the head. Like I said, I really can't even explain the whole reasoning behind the father being, or the priest being involved, and you could see why the disfigured sister is after her, and of course she comes back to life for one final scare. They all end up getting theirs. their own retribution, and that's pretty much it. I can't talk about this anymore. It's a decent watch. See, and I'm out. Click on my channel for other horror movie reviews. This was JBM from Mr. Creepshow 9. Thank you.